Eighth grade, welcome to geography class today. Today we're going to be wrapping up our study of the European countries in what would have been the last three chapters, 11, 12, and 13. And we're going to summarize our learning and make sure we've got a good understanding of where these places are that we've spent the last three chapters talking about. First, we studied Western Europe, which would be this region. Then we broke it down into Northern and Southern Europe, and most recently, our study of Eastern Europe and Western Russia. You can see that the map activity that I have for you here, both on the screen and the paper that you have at home, challenges you to know where these countries are just from a geography standpoint. So each number that shows up on the map corresponds with the country that you are going to put the proper name and label in. There are over 47 of those countries that we should be able to pick out and identify. Not off the top of our head necessarily, because I want you to have a chance to obviously use a map to study, and the map games that we've been playing have hopefully helped prepare you for this activity. You can obviously go and use those resources to use a map to correspond those answers, but you're going to look at this map, look at the number, find that number. Like for example, this one is number 1, and you might go to something like this that Mr. Shane has online that actually shows you what that country is. So this country over here, number 1, that was Russia. Maybe it makes sense while you're watching this video just to pause it and then match up the worksheet that you have with a map of the countries that are all labeled. Or if you'd like to use another resource that you have, your geography textbook at home and online has what are called these chapter openers, the very beginning portion of each chapter that shows you a map of all the different countries, and those countries have different colors on them. You could obviously tell by the shape which country matches up with the shape on this map, and then that number tells you what that country is. We said number 1 was Russia. If we use this map, you can see that this country up here isn't labeled for chapter 13, but I would just have to go back to chapter 12 for Northern and Southern Europe, chapter 11 for Western and Eastern Europe, for Western Europe, and I could click on the place and time portion of that tab, and it shows me right what those countries are. So 1 was Russia, 2 I believe on this map right up here is Finland, and if we double check that, that is correct. So I gave you the first two, numbers 1 and 2. The other 45 are yours to do on your own. You're matching with either this map resource that Mr. Shane has here. Pause the video, match those numbers with the picture that you have in front of you. Come back to this one each time and obviously try to spell those out the best you can so that I can easily check those. Make sure that you've got your understanding on how to identify something on the map and know where those countries are that we've talked about. Or use your resource in your textbook. Go to chapter 12, the place and time tab. Go to chapter 11, the place and time tab. Each of those is going to show you each region, and in each region show you where those countries are located. Obviously they're colored, but they should show up exactly the same on this format because they're just the outline of what that country looks like. Again, you're filling in those 47 countries, labeling those appropriately. God's blessings, and get to work.